Hey everybody, welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. It is my birthday today, and having been gone for a couple weeks and not made any new content, I figure this would be a perfect opportunity to do a live stream, make some new content with you guys. We've got some special guests, as well as we've got some gaming Jeopardy that's going to be for the chat to play. Just for honor and glory, this is a casual stream. We're going to chat. You can ask questions. We can joke around. I'm going to get right to it and bring on some of these special guests. We've got Dr. Scott, who at the moment is an image. Oh, there he is with some cake and a crown.
I was going to send you this crown and this this awesome birthday cake, but it wouldn't fit in the envelope. So happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you. We, of course, have Retro Bliss.
I didn't bring anything to the party.
I didn't either. I had cake earlier. And we've got the Intellivision gamer, Casey. How's it going, buddy?
Hey,
Mike, everyone. Happy birthday, Mike. I don't have any cake either.
Mike, before we get going, I have got to say something, man. I am so excited that it's your birthday, and I just want to be the first one to congratulate you on another birthday. And I know that when we get to this age, you know, they're just so many of them, you know. But you know, now that you're in your late 40s, it's you know, it's you know, they just kind of roll, you know. But it's okay, man. Happy birthday anyway. So we're just happy that you're celebrating another birthday. Just think, you know, I think is it next year you turn 50?
He has a few years
still. You turn next year. I would like to point out to the chat that I am in my early 40s. I am not in my late 40s yet, but as I mentioned to these guys before in the green room, it is not the years, it's the miles. I used to look like this.
Hey, I have a question about that too.
All right.
How's Wally and his June and Ward still alive?
So, you know what I actually got a lot of when I was a teenager was Donny Osmond.
You know that does look a lot.
Yeah, I got Donny Osmond a lot. I was very popular with middle-aged women when I was a teenager.
That was only a few years ago, right, Mike?
Yeah, that was just before I started YouTube, and look at the toll that YouTube takes.
Amen to that,
isn't it? Wow.
But yeah, so I am in fact 43. I am not 49. And
I wish I was 49.
Not me.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. But I wanted to do this. Like I said, I haven't. Hey, we got a lot of people saying happy birthday. One person calling me Eddie Munster. I don't know if I appreciate that, Rickster. Yeah, and that picture was from my first live stream 2 years ago. I was in France for the last 2 weeks with my son as a graduation present for him. He is joining the military early next year. He turns 18 in November. And since he's not costing me any tuition, I figured that would be a good graduation present. And we went and saw a whole bunch of different historical sites in northern France and Belgium, World War I, World War II, Napoleonic Wars. Even at the end there's a little bit of the end of the Franco-Prussian War. But, oh, hey, I really like this comment. Bill gets confused with numbers because he's so old.
Do you want me to go take care of her? She's in the next room.
But and because of that, I was hoping to do a proper review this week. I'm not going to get to a proper review this week, but I will be reviewing Michael Thomason's new book. Here, I can actually
Yeah,
reach it here.
I saw it at CGC, and I was so busy I never got to go back and look at it.
This is a fantastic book. So I'm going to do a review of that this week, and we'll be back to the regular homebrew reviews next week. I can tell you, because it's already been voted on, the member choice review for the month of October. And two of the guys here are actually members, so they know it. It's Popeye for the Atari 7800. So Mr. Postile will be very happy about that. And Mr. Postile wanted to be on, but he has to get up at 3:30 in the morning to work. So,
hey, wait a minute. That's the time my wife gets up to go to work.
But this book is incredible. And actually, I can't even open pages this way. I would have to look and make sure, because there are some absolutely graphic pages in here. This is not a PG book, but it is a fantastic, fantastic book. And this was a pre-release copy. And right at the end there, I'm going to see if I can make myself full or bigger. Right here, you can see I've got on the back of the book.
MGG.
This book is awfully good, that is. It's a dad joke. Never before have the sordid and juicy details of some of the most appalling video games been researched and reported in such detail. Great book. So I'll be reviewing that this week.
How do we order that, Mike?
I will confirm. You can order it through Good Deal Games. Michael Thomason runs Good Deal Games. And here, let me put us all back there. But I believe it's on Amazon as well. I will confirm all that before I post my review on Thursday. So the big event that's supposed to take place today, and I have advertised, is I have made a Jeopardy board.
Nice.
And this is for the chat to play. So what we're going to do is just the first person to answer in the chat. Again, this is a low pressure, chill kind of game. I got the inspiration from Zenbloke. Zenbloke did a live stream for, I believe, his 1,000th video upload, which is a big achievement for him. But he did little quiz cards. And I thought, hey, that's a really good idea. I'm going to steal it. and Rickster says,
yeah,
8 tit for 100. So if we got Sean Connery in the chat, he's going to be answering some.
I love that.
I'll take swords for 1,000.
Turd Ferguson. Hey, Carlos Madruga's in the chat. Referring to Michael Thomason's book that will not be featured on Retrobus Rewind, but it is fascinating. So I consider myself to be pretty dang knowledgeable about the history of video games. Like anybody, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, and I've never pretended to know everything, but I know a lot. And there was about half of the articles in this book I had no idea about. So it's a really cool book.
Yeah, I'm looking.
If you've got any interest in that. But we're going to start. And
before you start, though, for those of you who are in the chat and participate, if you guys are regular viewers of the Retro Bliss Gaming channel, I expect you guys to clean house on this. All right.
So one person I don't see in the chat is Jeremiah Thomas. Now, Jeremiah Thomas is a member of my channel, and he sometimes calls me out on my mini reviews. He doesn't agree, which is cool. I totally appreciate any kind of banter there, but he is incredibly knowledgeable. If he was here, I'm sure he would just sweep this board. I've made them pretty easy. I think most of the people, at least here on screen, would be able to answer all of these absolutely no problem. Maybe one or two slightly tricky ones. But what I'm going to do is just first person to answer in the chat. Everybody just answer in the chat. The first person they will be able to pick the next thing. I will keep track of who's got points on this handy dandy notepad because I'm old school. Actually, you want to see something cool? Because I have it here.
Always.
You want to know how old school I really am?
You have a Trapper Keeper?
No.
Okay.
Here, I want to show you this. I'm going to make myself big. When I was planning out, I was planning out our France trip, this is how I planned it.
Oh,
I've always cool. My ex-wife used to joke about this. My current wife jokes about this. My kids joke about this. I plan vacations like military campaigns. So I used to have proper maps that I could do this on, but you can't really find those anymore. So I printed off the Google Maps, and yeah, that's where we went.
But that's how you get
there's
stuff
like
done.
8 addresses on there. Why don't you just put them all in your Google Maps and then just hit start?
Because I had to plan it out, and I had to figure because I had to figure out what nights we were where. Yep. Right. So. Operation shutdown. Are you sure you're not 49?
I totally agree with your methods. Besides, it kind of makes it more fun because you get a visual, visual aid of where you're going, and then you're not going to make any mistakes because you didn't do it online or whatever. So I support you doing that.
Thank you. I do all my work notes online. Like I work with a bunch of younger guys. The industry that I work in is a young guys industry. And they're all typing their notes, and I'm writing my notes. Oh, okay. So add to stage. We're just going to start right up in the top corner. First person to answer in the chat will be able to choose the category and the time. This is for the chat to answer. We can joke about them. You guys can share whether or not you knew it or not. But this is for the chat, but it's also just for fun. So Crazy Consoles, launched in 1972. This was the first commercial gaming console. This is Crazy Consoles for 100. Easy one. Easy one. You guys know this one, right?
Come on.
I don't see anything in the chat yet. There. No.
I have it.
No.
Yeah, I have it too. Saboteur is wrong. No.
Saboteur, come on.
First commercial gaming console.
2600.
There you okay. I'm gonna count this.
Yeah.
Magnavox Odyssey is the correct answer.
That's the Pong Odyssey.
Yeah. And you in the chat, you don't have to do the what is, even though I did the what is. You just say what it is. So we're giving Chris Walker. Chris Walker's got 100 points.
Chris is on the board.
Chris, what category and value would you like?
Are you seeing Operation Shutdowns?
I saw Operation Shutdowns, but Chris's came in first.
Okay, because I'm not seeing him in the chat, so that's the only reason I'm asking.
No, I see Operation Shutdown there.
All right.
So Atari Addicts, you want Atari Addicts for 100? 100? Okay. So Atari Addicts for 100. A pack-in for the 2600. This game pits 2 players against each other as tanks, biplanes, or fighter jets.
This is a hard one.
A really tough one.
So is the question.
Oh, geez. Right off
that
the
was
bat.
Fast.
Chris Walker got it first. But everybody got it right. But Chris Walker is the fastest typer. And of course, Rickster says, "That's not what your mother said last night, Trebek."
That's not my name.
All right. So, that should clear that one. If I hit escape. Oh, well. Atari Addicts for 100 is gone. What would you like next, Chris? You got another 100 there. Atari Addicts for 200. This is my favorite one on the board. A famous maze arcade game with ghosts. This is a favorite Atari game of retro bliss.
I told you.
If my guys don't get this in,
good night, everybody.
Oh, there he goes. There he
I'll be
goes.
gone.
That Rickster got that one first.
What?
Rickster got that one first. It is Pac-Man 2600.
Well, you kind of gave it away when you said a maze game with ghosts.
And it's
Well, yeah, because if not everybody knows Retro Bliss hates Pac-Man. I mean, loves Pac-Man.
Well, it's kind of like who doesn't.
It probably is Phil's actual favorite video of mine, though. So
it is.
I don't know why this one doesn't clear.
Video of yours.
Oh, maybe I have to reveal and then because I didn't reveal it. Okay, Rickster, you get to choose the next category and value.
I gotta say, I have to be so nerdy because this is super fun. I love this.
I love stuff like this too.
This is great.
So Rickster's going to go Atari for 300. When the Force Awakens came out, because I was such a big Star Wars fan, and honestly, the prequels almost killed Star Wars for me. I was so excited about it. I mean, a lot of people crap on the sequel trilogy, but at least compared to the prequels, I think they're fun.
Visually, they're beautiful, though.
That said, I was so excited for it. We had like a family event, and I did a Star Wars Jeopardy. But Atari Addicts for 300. Composed of disgruntled former Atari programmers, this company is considered the first third-party publisher.
Okay,
I know that one.
This is easy.
Rogue One was indeed fantastic. Oh, yep. Jolt 7800 was the first to answer with Activision. What is Activision?
Which I'd like to point out that Joel was like one of my very, very first subscribers, like way back. He's still around, man. Love that boy, man.
Well, sure, he's taking Jolt.
I like Operation Shutdown's autocorrect. Activist on.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and thank you very much, Mr. Baseman. So, Jolt, what would you like? What category, what value?
Potent Potables for 800.
Yeah, there we got a potpourri. We don't have a Potent Potables. That's Mr. Baseman.
I love it.
I'm surprised I've known them all so far.
Oh, they've all been easy so far. So he's going Atari for 400.
They're supposed to get harder the further they go down.
Yeah, the higher they get up. While Pong made Atari famous, this arcade cabinet was actually their first in 1971.
Oh.
Oh.
Do 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 do.
They have that.
Oh, come on. Somebody's got it. Oh, no. Operation Shutdown. You're not right.
No, he's close.
No. Oh, Chris Walker's close as well. Oh, come on. Somebody's got to know it. Any of you guys know it? Don't. Oh, there's Carlos Madruga's got it. What is computer space? So
that one I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know that one? Okay. I got to play this when I get around to my third video of Pastimes Arcade. They have an original computer space that you could just walk up and play, which is unbelievable.
I saw it in your video.
Yeah, you saw it in like the walkthrough video, but I actually filmed myself playing it a bit. So, all right. So, Carlos, you get to pick a category and a value.
Here comes in television.
Yes, we'll probably start in television now. For those of you who don't know, Carlos Madruga is one of the premier in television programmers, but he went for great games for 100. Jumpman from Donkey Kong went on to star in this flagship series of games for Nintendo. So we're looking for the series of games. Yes, Justin, anybody can play. There's no real prize or anything. We're just for bragging rights and all that. So anybody, whoever types the answer first. There you go. Oh, no, Carlos actually is the first here. Carlos got that first. So
I saw the other one
yes,
first.
I did too, but Carlos is higher on the list, so it probably came in like almost identical. So, and also if we're going to be really, there is no daily double, Rickster. But Super Mario Brothers, because Mario Brothers would be wrong. That is not the series of games that is the flagship for Nintendo. It was a Super Mario Brothers game.
Yeah, because there was only one.
Yeah. So that one goes to Carlos. And Justin, panel is just for fun guess. They're not actually playing. Chat is the only guys playing.
So I can eat my cake then, right? Okay.
You can eat your cake.
I'm not. It was funny as a shtick. I'm not going to be rude. If I was going to do that,
Carlos,
I'd get a burrito.
What would you like? I like this so much.
I want to do this. What's the site again?
It's jeopardylabs.com. So Carlos is going great games for 200. This series of games, known for its blue protagonist with speed and attitude, was a primary rival for Mario Brothers in the early 1990s.
Ooh. There we go.
That's going to be right. Sonic the Hedgehog. Art Freak.
Smurfs.
Smurf. And Operation Shutdown, agree to disagree. Super Mario was not the sequel to Mario Brothers. It had the same characters, but wasn't the sequel.
Although I did not get to meet him, the voice of Sonic was at CGC this weekend. So
awesome.
Cool. Yep.
So yes, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. So Art Freak, you get to pick.
Notice I'm being very nice right now.
Savor the moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
I should put my hands up here so you know that I know that she's not getting answers from me.
Okay, Operation Shutdown. So Mario Brothers was a sequel to Donkey Kong? Silliness. All right, he's picked Potpourri for 100. This 1981 arcade game features an amphibian trying to cross a road and a river. Easy. The 100 level is so easy.
You love this game too.
Yeah, there. Chris Walker got it right there. Frogger.
Frogger just went.
Pac-Man.
Yes, yeah. Chris Walker's picking up all the 100s. So yes, of course, the answer is Frogger. So Chris, it's your pick. Definitely Pac-Man. Definitely Pac-Man.
And television isn't getting any love.
Not yet. Maybe they're saving the best for last. You don't know.
I figured
I'm proud of a few of my five. Ooh, he's going Atari for 500. Including Sears consoles, this is the amount of distinct variations of 2600 that were released in North America.
Oh my goodness, Mike, that's a tough one, man. That is tough.
Now, distinct variations. I'm not talking about the label. Like, for instance, on the Atari Junior, they have a short label and a long label. It's the same model. Hey, Albo, thank you, sir. 6 is not the right answer. 7 is not the right answer. There we go. Carlos got it. So,
Carlos. And television, come on, Carlos.
The answer is 8. And here's my justification. And if you guys disagree with it, it's my Jeopardy, and that's fine. But here's my justification, what I consider distinct differences. You have the heavy sixer, the light sixer, the 4-switch, the Vader, the Junior, and then, including Sears, you have the heavy sixer Sears, the light sixer Sears, and the Video Arcade 2. So that makes 8 in my count.
I agree with that.
That's the second one I did not know.
I had to count multiple times to make sure. So that was a 500 for Carlos is scooping up the high value ones.
Kicking butt.
Yeah, I didn't know.
All right, Carlos, what would you like?
I didn't know if you were going to count the two different juniors or not, but it's the same model. It's just a different label.
Yeah, that's why I kind of specified there. I tried to make it like if you want to count variations of circuit board, I mean, there's dozens, I'm sure, but Intellivision for 100. We're on to Intellivision. This launch game for the Intellivision has you destroying asteroids and satellites falling towards a planet's surface.
Casey's just chomping at the bit.
Oh, Rickster got it.
Yeah.
Rickster was first there. It is indeed Astro Smash. I'll take S-words for 500, Alex. And I like Kenny's answer, the Mad Planets. But that was Rickster. So what would you like, Rickster? Potpourri for 200. This game was combined with Super Mario Brothers as a pack-in with the NES action set. Roger, your answers are showing up. It's just they're not coming up in my chat before other people that have said the same answer. So you gotta be first to it. And the first to this one was Chris Walker. Which it is indeed Duck Hunt, and everybody wishes they could shoot that damn dog.
I like
hey,
that
Mike,
dog.
just remember that I told you that this clue's relevant.
What's that?
Just remember, we'll talk again. This clue's relevant right here to something.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And if I had said, what was the name of the set that had the power pad in it? Because that had the triple. That's the one that I actually got in 1990. That had because the action set was with the gun, but then there was another set that had the gun and the power pad, and it had a triple cart.
And what was the name? It was like it was like a trap, not track and field, but
no, it was World Class Track Meet.
that's the name.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the name of that set. Anyhow, sorry, the first one to get that was indeed Chris Walker. So, Chris, you get to choose our next one. Yeah, the power pad set. But I think it had a different name. I don't know. I threw out my box that Christmas. I wish I never did, but Intellivision for 200. Yes. The number of unique action buttons that the Intellivision controller has. Unique action buttons. This may be a trick question for some.
It is.
There. Carlos Madruga got it. Oh, and the chat jumped. It's Carlos Madruga. There are 4 action buttons, but only 3 of them are unique. So one of them is mirrored on either side. So the answer is 3. So Carlos Madruga picking up another 200 here. And he gets to pick our next category. I have a feeling it's going to be Intellivision for 300. Yeah, there it is. This is generally accepted as the number of originally released games for the Intellivision. And the reason I say generally is because there are people who argue it is a different number.
And they are
wrong. Rickster got it first. The answer is the original 125. So Rickster got a 300 there.
What's the other number, Mike?
I believe there is somebody on Atari Age that has their signature 115. And it's like, there is only 115. And I think it's the ones that were released before in television was discontinued. But there were some, I don't know enough about what, like, I know that the generally accepted number is.
Yeah, 125. I've never heard that other number.
Yeah, I've had arguments. Rickster says, Intellivision for 400. This accessory allowed the Intellivision to synthesize speech.
Man, I so
Easy.
should have been in chat.
Oh, you would have dominated this category.
I've known most of
Well,
the
it
others.
depends on how fast you can type.
Yeah, I was going to say, how fast can you type?
There you go. Rickster got it. Rickster was quick on the draw. It was indeed the IntelliVoice.
Microphone.
Did you know that one, Phil?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. You just said the microphone.
No, someone typed that in the chat.
Oh. Oh, it's art free. The microphone. Yes. And Mr. Basement, intelligible. Whoops, not autocorrect. Correct. All right. Rickster, you going to go for that 500?
And he'll do
Do it.
Intellivision. Oh, he did.
No, he goes crazy
No.
consoles for 200. Unique with its built-in screen and analog controls, this system was released in 1982.
I played this for the first time last year.
I played it for the first time this weekend.
This weekend.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, Chris Walker was first on the draw. It was indeed the Vectrex.
Man, do I want one bad.
Yeah. How do you like it, Scott?
I used to have a couple of them.
I thought it was pretty
And
cool
I
looking.
like this. Just because, Scott, this one's for you. Just because my husband has a video game channel doesn't mean I know video games.
Yeah, she doesn't learn by osmosis. That's for sure.
although she is better at what's that game you got played? Sorry, Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six?
Rainbow Six
or,
Vegas too.
Yeah, she's better than you at that.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, so Mr. Baseman, the Vectrex was a console that had a built-in screen and analog controls. I did not want to say a built-in vector screen because I felt that would give it away too much. But it was the Vectrex. So Chris Walker was the first one with that. So he gets to choose our next category.
The penis larger.
The question was a little
Crazy consoles for 3. What was that? Sorry.
I was going to say the question could have been considered misleading a little bit because it made me think of a handheld when you first said it.
Okay, but what handheld released in 1982 had
Right.
not only a built-in
You're right.
screen but
You're
analog
right.
controls?
You're right about that, but it still made me think of a handheld.
Well, I can't just say it was the Vectrex.
No.
This thing the size of a Macintosh that's black with a vector screen.
Yes.
That's what it looked like.
All right. I'm trying to make them sound like Jeopardy questions. All
You're
right,
doing
Crazy
a good job.
Consoles for 300. A dominant force in gaming for the past 30 years. This is Sony's second best-selling console of all time. Everybody knows what the first one is. Do you guys know what the second best-selling console that Sony's ever had is?
I have a guess, but I don't know it for sure. I know what number one is.
No. Although Carlos has guessed the first most successful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody's got it yet. Still nobody's got it.
Something tells me
Ooh.
it's not the Vita.
It is most definitely not the Vita. There we go.
Ah,
There's the
there
first
it
one.
is.
I didn't know.
Art Freak with the PS4. It was, in fact, the PlayStation 4. Which did not win its generation. The Nintendo Switch won that generation because it just decided not to participate in the next one and continue selling Switches.
Yep.
Aren't they closing in on number one?
Number one of all time?
Yeah, sure.
I am not sure.
Yes,
They're
closing in.
very close. They're close. But I think they would have to sell it, like, because there's all these rumors about the Switch 2. I think they would have to sell for a bit longer before that. So how is that even possible? So the PlayStation 2 is their best-selling console, and it is in fact still the best-selling console of all time. Sony's next best-selling was the PlayStation 4, then the PlayStation 3, then the PlayStation 1. PlayStation 5 has not completed its life, so who knows? And the PSP outsold the Vita very much, even though
Easily.
I loved the Vita. I was never a huge fan of the PSP, but I loved the Vita.
Love my Vita.
All right, so Art Freak, you get to pick.
And once you jailbreak the PlayStation TV, that console's awesome.
I need to jailbreak mine. I really. So she's going potpourri for 300. Warthog is a popular nickname of a vehicle in this famous Xbox franchise.
Oh, come on, hun, if you don't get this.
And it was supposed to be a PC game.
Well, it is. It is as well, but it's most
It is,
famously
but I
known
mean,
as an
originally.
Xbox game.
No,
Yeah, so the first
originally-
one here, the first one I saw was Kenny.
Originally, that is incorrect. It's a Mac game originally, because it was created by Macsoft, and then Xbox bought Macsoft.
Ah.
Yes, but it was not released for it
Actually, it was
before Xbox.
before Xbox. I don't know. I don't know the release timeline. So, but you might be right. I think he bought it. I think Gates bought it, and then it was released for Xbox, and then everything else later. But it was created for the Macintosh first, because it was demoed on the Macintosh by Steve Jobs before it was ever on Xbox. Mac nerd here. I know these things.
Well, obviously, this is why we've got you on the panel, man. You bring that extra little bit of not quite a computer knowledge.
Yeah,
I'm on a Mac, and I've had a lot of Macs, but I didn't know that.
yeah.
All right, so Kenny, you get to pick. What will Kenny pick? Will he finish? Crazy consoles for 500. Finally, somebody's jumping up. And not going in order. All right, so at over 150 million units sold, this is Nintendo's best-selling console. I will clarify, console group of all time. It is not the Switch. Believe it or not.
Nope.
It is not the Wii. It is not the NES.
Ooh.
I think I understand what you're asking. I get it.
There is something that, there we go. Kenny got it. So this includes the DS, the DS Lite, the DSi, because they all play DS games.
Yeah.
So that's why I specified. But yes, the answer is the Nintendo DS line of handhelds. It does not include the 3DS. 3DS is ranked separately. But that was a tough one. I figured that one would snag some people. That's why it's a 500.
I would have never guessed that, because I call those handhelds, not consoles. So I would have never guessed that.
But they're handheld consoles.
Yeah.
All right. So good job, Kenny. You get to pick again. And again, this is a game for fun. So if you disagree with me, it's not like you're losing out on big prizes or anything.
Bragging rights are the biggest prize there is.
They're right up there, man. They're right up there.
I agree.
Potpourri for 500. This Konami arcade game was released in Europe as Dancing Stage.
Dancing Stage.
I don't know this one.
No clue.
Oh,
You know, Phil?
yeah, I think so. I may be wrong.
Carlos got it. Carlos is in Europe, so That's kind of a cheat. It is indeed Dance Dance Revolution. Is
I
that
was
what you
going to
thought,
say
Phil?
Just Dance.
Oh, that would have been a good guess. Although Just Dance, are they Konami?
I don't know. I was
not-
just assumed.
But Carlos comes in and picks up that one. Probably helped by the fact that he is in Europe. But we did get Cannabis Kid guessing that, Kenny and Art Freak. So some good guesses there. So what it'll be, Carlos?
There we go.
Television for 500. Casey, keep your mouth shut. This rare accessory allowed Intellivision players to download and stream games.
I cannot say a word and still help.
Don't.
I don't know this one.
This is a Grail item. Carlos got it. It is the play cable. And yes,
Internet.
by all means, please show and tell.
I already am.
You can't see him.
I've got you. Here, let me.
Oh, okay. What kind of
yeah,
looks like
here,
an
let
Anzella
me-
voice.
Let me. Shoop, there we go.
Interesting.
That is a play cable. So you would hook that up to your cable, and there would be a selection of games, and you could basically download them to that and play.
So does it have an RF port on the back?
It connects through
A
the
coax.
console. It's a $3,500 paperweight.
Wow.
Yep. Hey, Dr. Vogt, thank you very much.
Okay, Mike.
Okay, yeah, let's get this back. So if I go
49 and holding.
sit here. So great games for 500. Ooh, he's going right to the top. So
I went to the top.
among the rarest and most valuable video games of all time, this Exodus-inspired game was a mail order for the Atari 2600. Somebody, you guys know this one?
I have a guess.
Joel got it. Red
Oh,
Sea
yes.
Crossing. This Exodus-inspired. See, I'm being all Jeopardy.
Now here's what's interesting about that. There was a guy I met this weekend, and he actually gave me his card for his channel, and he had a copy with him.
Woo!
And
There-
I didn't even know that this game even existed, and he had it like in this clear box that I could see through, and he's
Is
telling
it-
me about it. I never.
if
never
it's
saw it.
legit, it's one of like 2 or 3 that are known to exist.
He said 5. Now and
5?
and-
I could be.
but
I
but
could be wrong.
I'd never heard of it before this weekend. And if, like you said, if it's legit, and I was like, and he was telling me about the game, and I was like, that's cool as heck, and such a coincidence that I actually saw. Well, even if it was a copy, that game. So
If I'm not mistaken, and there's obviously some knowledgeable people in our chat, this was a mail order from a Christian magazine
I should have taken pictures
back in the
of
day.
it.
But Kenny says that between the 4 of us, we could start up a gaming museum. Especially Casey, I think. Casey's got he's at least got the Intellivision section of the museum covered.
I have a little bit more than that.
Yes, yeah, you got that. That's why I said especially in television. And Dr. Volk says, I like Mike, you like Mike, everybody likes Mike. Oh, that's nice. Not everybody, but we don't. Okay, and Kenny says only 2 verified copies have been found, making one of the rarest published video games.
So this guy was probably full of baloney then. His was probably
well, it may be legit, just not verified. I don't know.
Okay.
And Dr. Volk says a Bible game that isn't poorly made. Bible Adventures on the NES, believe it or not. I grew up in a Christian family. My mom would rent us. She would not feel bad renting us a video game from the Christian family bookstore, and it was always Bible Adventures. So I actually liked that game.
I did my son, he had a bunch of video game stuff that was given to him by a Christian family. and there was a lot of NES stuff in there, and there were a
Yep.
number of NES Christian games in that lot. I haven't actually put them in and played them, but there were a bunch of them in there. I didn't realize that they even made them.
Yeah,
So.
there's several. There are definitely several of them. Wizard Tree, I think, made a few.
My favorite
So
one
Jolt
was
7800. What would you like next?
yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh, no, that's all
Yeah,
right.
go ahead.
You had to get to the. My favorite was My Snake Can Swallow Your Snake. That was a good game. It's not a real game.
That's one of the Mystique missing games.
Yeah.
That's where I went.
All right. He's going Crazy Consoles for 400. Released in 1983 and only in Japan, this was Sega's first console. Is Pango $50 now?
Yep.
Holy moly.
About yeah.
My copy's got like holes in the label and all that stuff. Oh, Kenny came in first. Kenny is correct with the SG-1000. Although not many people know this was far predated by the SG-1.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Nah, I know it's a joke.
Oh, Carlos, you may think you were first, but it's got Kenny on top of you. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
You were right behind. You both show up as 1047, but the first one that shows up on my chat is Kenny.
I think it's because he's in Europe.
You were
it's coming in
robbed.
late.
You were robbed.
It-
Yeah, you got the Europe jet lag going.
There's
so
some kind
that
of
was
difference
400.
depending on whose chat you're in, because I was sent screenshots that shows different than what I'm seeing on here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right. So, Kenny, you got 3 spots on the board left. Potpourri for 400. This 1980 arcade game is widely considered to be the first platformer. If you watch my reviews, you should know this. And Cannabis has some games for our wrestling games for our museum when we start one. Mr. Baseman got it. Space Panic. He was first to post it.
I was gonna say, if you can read that, it's like right here.
Yeah.
I just started playing that game just recently. That is a fun game.
It is, you know what? It is surprisingly addictive.
I like it.
I would say I prefer Lode Runner, but it is surprisingly addictive for what it is.
I mean, there are different ports of Space Panic other than the Intellivision version.
Oh, yes. It's on ColecoVision. Yeah.
Yeah, but the game itself is a very fun game.
And Mr. Baseman says his son is pretty good at it. And Dr. Volk says in space, no one can hear you panic.
I don't think I've ever played it.
Try it out.
It's pretty good. Yeah, check it out.
All right.
All right. So, Mr. Baseman, you get to pick. It's going to be a great game either way. As is only proper. Mr. Baseman's going to go with great games for 400. In North America, the Nintendo 64 launched with 2 games, Super Mario 64 and this. There he goes. Kenny, I'm going to accept that. It is technically Pilot Wings 64, but I've been accepting, like I accepted Sonic instead of Sonic the Hedgehog. Because Pilot Wings was actually on the Super Nintendo, but Pilot Wings 64 was the second launch title for the Nintendo 64
I didn't
in
know
North
that one.
America. Well, now you do. It's a nice
Yeah.
little piece of trivia. That's why it's at the 400 level. All right. Last but not least, everybody get your typing fingers ready. Oh,
go.
wait. Space Panic fixed 64 should have been. And yes, Quick Draw Lauderdale strikes again. Okay. Great games for 300. A favorite of many JRPG fans, this numbered installment was the last main Final Fantasy game before the series turned to 3D.
Don't know it. Don't
And
even
it is
have a guess.
also my favorite Final Fantasy game.
The Final Fantasies were numbered like they weren't like in order either. Like
It was not Final Fantasy IV, Cannabis Kid. Pac-Man Fantasy.
I want that game.
This is the best Final Fantasy game. Come on. It was not Final Fantasy Tactics.
I'm going to write down my answer because I'm not a fan of this, but I think I know what it is.
How do we know you didn't write down more than one?
Because I only did it right here.
Okay, so because we're in North America and I grew up with it this way, it is Final Fantasy VI, but it was released in North America on the Super Nintendo as Final Fantasy III. So I'm giving this one to Cannabis Kid. And for those saying Final Fantasy VII, this Final Fantasy VII was a 3D Final Fantasy.
And that's the one that I wrote down because I don't know the games and I didn't know where they started into the 3D.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy VI was the pinnacle of the Final Fantasy series of the original kind of top-down thing. But as I said, released in North America as Final Fantasy III. And I absolutely loved it.
Did anyone catch Carlos?
Did anyone catch what, sorry?
Did anyone catch Carlos?
Well, I'm going to just add them up here in a second. Final Fantasy Football.
I always like Final Fantasy Island. That was a good show.
Let's see here. Kenny got a lot of high value ones too. So
still using his abacus at his old age.
Kenny or Carlos?
Just a second here.
Schwartz. Pac-Man Fantasy. The plane.
All right. So, okay. I'm going to answer this question first because this is interesting for Final Fantasy nerds. Why was it released in North America as Final Fantasy III? What's weird? That's weird numbering. Did the first 3 games only come out in Japan? No, but you're kind of on track. So, Final Fantasy I released everywhere. It was on the NES. Then Final Fantasy II and III were both released in Japan only. So when they released Final Fantasy IV for the Super Famicom and they ported it and they released it on the Super Nintendo, they released it in North America as Final Fantasy II. Then in Japan, Final Fantasy V was released, and then they released Final Fantasy VI, and they released that in North America as Final Fantasy III. Those are the only 3 that you got there. When the PlayStation came along and they made Final Fantasy VII, they said, okay, forget this double numbering thing, and they just released Final Fantasy VII. Oh. As a teenager in the 90s...
Can you say that again?
That's what I was
When Final Fantasy VII came out, my first thought was, did I miss the last 3? Where the hell were they? Okay. But they were Japan-only releases. And Mystic Quest it was kind of released as Final Fantasy North America. I like Mystic Quest. It's not a real Final Fantasy game, and it's really dumbed down for a Western audience because the Japanese, I guess, did not think very much of us. But it is what it is. I enjoy it for what it is. It's got great music. Yes, Final Fantasy Dumb Americans version. Okay, do we want to know who won?
Yes.
It was down to Carlos Madruga and Kenny Lauderdale. But Carlos Madruga pulled it through with 2,200 points to Kenny's 1,600. Congratulations, Carlos Madruga.
And he wins a copy of Final Fantasy Zero.
Carlos wins my undying respect for him as a television programmer. I love his stuff. I continue to plug his stuff when I review it. Huh?
What happened? I'm here.
No, I'm looking at the comment here.
Oh,
That's what I was doing. I'm like,
everybody froze.
wait, what?
Okay.
And you said, "Hun," and it
See,
was like everybody
Madruga.
just froze.
I mean, Oscar Madruga?
Like now.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Turd
Turd
Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson. What do you want?
Ah. Yes, Turd Ferguson wins our game of Gaming Jeopardy. I had a lot of fun. Oh, this is another comment on Mystic Quest. The West doesn't deserve nice things. That's why we import them. And Jolt 7800 said that was a lot of fun. That's a funny name. It's a big hat. It's funny. That's Norm Macdonald there.
Yep.
It's a big hat. It's funny. I love Norm Macdonald. That was a lot of fun. I just wanted to do something fun tonight. And also, as kind of a teaser, not a teaser, but a warm-up, next week, we are back on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast. I'm looking forward to coming back. Phil, why don't you tell us who our guest is and what we're talking about next week?
Well, next week, which is the 1st of October, we have Evie from Backbit on the show. Evie has developed a multi-cart for a plethora of gaming consoles. A Backbit is a multi-cart. There it is right there. Show them how you can take the end of it out there. You can take the adapter out of it. And
I've never done such things.
Yeah, I only need
that
this
way.
for television.
Yeah. Evie has made a ton of the adapters for those for a bunch of different retro gaming consoles and actually computers as well. I have 5 adapters for different consoles that I have. You put one little micro SD card in there, and all of your games for all of these different consoles fits on one micro SD card, and it's amazing. And Evie will be on to talk about that at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time next Tuesday. And then I found out also that John Champeau of Champ Games will be on the 15th.
Oh, nice.
So he released Tutankhamun. He will be releasing Tutankhamun at PRGE, but he also will be distributing 5 of the games that were discontinued in the Atari Age store on his website in early October, including Juno 1st.
Juno 1st.
Yes.
Physically?
Physically. Yes.
Because I already have
Complete 'em
Juno
books.
1st, but I can't wait to find out what the other ones are going to be.
Now the question, I can tell you what they are.
The End, Star
they're
Castle,
Stratovox,
Stratovox,
and let's see, Ruby Q.
Okay.
Oh yes, yeah, Ruby Q.
Now I am not sure if the ROMs for those games will be available like they are for John's games. I don't know that yet, but that's a question that we will ask and find out. I have also asked for Chris Walton, who John is working with on a new game that he is working on for next year. He is working on a port for the 2600 of Xevious.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. People are wondering, how can you do that? Because you need 2 buttons for Xevious. Well, we're going to find that out. That may
We all know that they're wizards. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. There's a way to do it, and they'll tell us how they're going to do it. So, and if Carlos can come on, we're going to see if he can at least come in for part of the. If not, that's okay. John can be there and talk about it. But he also, Carlos, was involved with Star Castle Arcade and with Juno 1st. So 2 of the games that John's going to be distributing are also going to be on his website. So I thought, well, why not see if Chris could be on as well. So we're going to find that out. I do not have confirmation of that yet. But so anyway, and which, by the way,
we've got other stuff that we're working on as well.
Yeah. And Mike, again, I want to congratulate you on your birthday. And like I said, now that you're in your late 40s, I bought you a present for your birthday, and I forgot what day it was. I haven't mailed it to you. I bought you a pill caddy to put on your nightstand so you could you could take your medicine right before you go to bed.
You want to know something really funny? I have a couple pill caddies because I used to repair a lot of systems, and they're great for putting all the little screws in.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to need them for more than pills later
Yeah,
on,
I
bro.
will.
Let me tell you that.
Why do my pills taste like metal?
Those are those iron pills you need to take.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I kind of sent out an invite last minute. I wasn't 100% sure I was even going to do this, but I'm really happy I did. I had a lot of fun, and I really appreciate that you guys that you took the time to jump on. And for everybody that's watching, I thank you guys so much. 41 plus already rounds up. Okay, so if over 41 rounds up to 50, then I might as well round up to 50.
Man, you look good.
But for the record, I'm not ashamed of it, especially considering in the communities I tend to go in, I'm among the youngest. I'm 43. So 43 at best rounds to 45, right? I'm not 50 yet.
No.
Well, to
Give me
put
that
things
at
in
least.
perspective, I'm in my last year in my 50s.
Yeah.
So,
I'm in my last year of 40s.
I am definitely the old dude sitting here, and I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. So, what'd you say?
Rickster's
I said,
got
I'm in my
underwear that's
last year of my
43.
30s. We're going to change same year.
That's
I do. I got underwear that's 43 as well.
And Cannabis Kid is 3 years older than me. Well, I have said it before in this stream. I'll say it again. It ain't the years, it's the miles. And at least I'm spending the miles with friends. So Thank you, everybody. Oh, and Mr. Baseman is going to be 52 on Monday. Happy early birthday.
Happy birthday,
And,
Mr.
I don't know if you
Baseman.
guys saw that I brought up in the thing. A week today, Scott is going to be another year older on October 1st. We'll mention that at the top of our stream next week.
And tomorrow's my mom's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
This Saturday is my son's birthday. That's why I can't go to Portland.
Man, it's everybody's birthday. All right. Just say happy birthday to everybody.
Everybody was busy.
Everyone in my
December.
family, September, October.
Yeah, my mom is the 5th, my brother is the 10th, my son is the 28th, my uncle is today. I'm today. My late aunt was the 15th.
Count backwards 9 months.
Well, that's the thing. There's nothing better to do in December when it's all cold outside than to get close with your loved ones. All right. Thank you, everybody. I promised these guys I'd only steal them for an hour, so we're going to get off. But I really appreciate everybody that stopped by, both on the panel and in the chat. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. We'll do this again sometime.
Peace
Night,
out.
everyone.